Hey everybody, welcome to Go Get It by Getitlex Motivational Mindset, the podcast. Today, I'm so excited to tell you guys we're walking with Miss Shayy Winn. So thank you very much for taking your time out to do this interview with me. I really, really appreciate it. I think it was a good idea for me to be able to talk to someone, a younger person. I haven't had that many young people on my podcast because, like I said, I just started. So I thought it would be a good idea for you to come on and tell your story. So, like I said, thank you for taking your time out to come talk with us. So I know a little bit about you. I'm gonna let you tell the people who you are.
Okay. Hi. I appreciate you having me on. My name is Shayy Winn. I am 20 years old and I am legally blind.
Okay, so let's go back to the beginning of when and how you found out about your diagnosis. First of all, what is your diagnosis, and you can tell us how you found out about it.
Okay, so I have something called hydrocephalus, and it's due to a brain tumor called an epidermoid cyst. First, hydrocephalus is too much fluid in the brain, and an epidermoid cyst is skin tissue in the wrong place. So that caused me to have papilledema, which is the swelling of the optic nerves, which eventually caused me to become legally blind, I guess you could say. So if I start from the beginning of my story, so basically how it happened was it was the beginning of my junior year of high school, and I had gone to school, and I'm the type of kid to sit in like the back of the classroom and not really say much in class at all. But I was in class and I started to notice like reading my handwriting was getting harder to do, or the reading a textbook was hard. Like it was taking me like an hour to read like one page of a textbook, and that wasn't cool to me. Or seeing the board was becoming a struggle. So I told my mom, and the first thing we thought was just like, okay, well, maybe you need some glasses. That's about it. Like, we're not thinking anything serious. Um, Everything was good and dandy till a Friday in September, maybe like the third Friday in September or so, where I was actually scheduled to go to the eye doctor, and that same day I had this like massive headache happen, and I'm not a headache person, so it was really weird. And all my friends are terrified because they're like, "You look really pale. Are you okay?" I'm like, "I think I'm fine. I just have a really bad headache." And later I found out that I was having the headache because gravity was pushing the fluid onto my tumor every time I moved my head.
Mm.
So at first, when I move it forward, it would hit the front of my head. When I would push it back up to sit straight up, it would hit the tumor and be stuck. So that's what was causing that headache. And when I say it was bad headache, it was like earthquake in your brain headache.
Mm.
So I went to the eye doctor that same day, and when I went, she did the eye tests and everything on my eyes, and she didn't really say what was going on. So me and my mom were still like, okay. She was like, I need to go contact my neurologist friend. And I'm like, okay, sure. So she goes, she makes the contact, she comes back in like less than 5 minutes, and she's like, you need to go to the ER now. And I'm like, oh, like now. Okay, sure. I don't know what's going on, but you're saying I need to go to the ER, so I'm gonna go to the ER. Okay, cool. We head to the ER. I'm there for like 5 hours. Still nobody's telling me what's going on. So I'm very, very confused as to what's happening. And we get there, they're doing all types of follow my finger eye tests and stuff like that. And like one doctor just slips up while I'm sitting in the hallway of the ER rooms, and he's like, okay, Shayla, we're gonna try to save you from going blind. And I looked at my mom, I looked back at him, I looked at my mom, I said, did he just say what I think he just said?
Mm.
I'm going blind? And my mom's like, don't start. And I'm like, oh no. Because at the time I'm studying music at school. I go to a school for music. So you have to be able to read music. So I'm like, oh my gosh, my whole world has just flipped upside down. I call my best friend and stuff, and they're like, they still don't know what is causing the papilledema. So I'm getting CT scans with contrast, and then they're trying to, after the CT scan, they didn't see it, so now they're trying to send me to an MRI, and that's when they found the tumor was in my brain. When after my MRI, and at first they was like, oh, we're gonna have to take you to emergency surgery, and I'm like, whoa, hold on, everybody slow down. Can we slow down here, please? Because everybody's moving really fast. This is my first time in the ER, like, well, not in the ER, but like, you know, in the hospital for something actually serious, and y'all are talking about emergency brain surgery. That's a lot. Hold on, I was like, what is happening? So then they were explaining to me about my tumor, but they asked me, did I have any of the other symptoms, which along with hydrocephalus usually comes seizures, vomiting, headaches, all of that. I told them I had the headache and then the vision loss. That was it. They were like, okay, well, then we might be able to, you know, hold off a little bit, see if we can find a safer, more effective way to get to your tumor rather than just jumping in. And I'm like, okay, that sounds better to me, you know? I like that. So I go and I'm there for a while. I had to have one of my friend's brothers who was studying medicine at the time come and try to like break the doctor terms down to me. But I had my surgery and they were able to get 50% of my tumor out. The other 50 is still there. And I also have, is it called an ETA? Not ETA. What's it called? I don't know. I don't remember the term for my what I have, but it's a extra hole drilled somewhere else to make sure that the fluid never ever gets clogged up like that again. Well, I won't say never ever because it's still, there's still possibilities, but to prevent it is the other hole to get the fluid to the rest of my body.
Goodness. So how did it all of that, did that change your perspective, like as far as being a teenager? Like how did you readjust to the fact that you had this and that if it's not going nowhere? So how did you wrap your mind around um, still having to live a long life and get up and do what you had to do?
So I'm not gonna lie. At first, it was tough because I didn't know the first thing about going blind, and I will say, like, the doctors had kind of promised me that my sight was gonna come back after the surgery, but my sight progressively got worse afterwards. Because I could actually see more during that time than I can see now, but it was, I was at first like, you know, always hearing the bad news about it getting worse was kind of tough. It was like, all right, because everyone around me kept telling me that it was coming back, and then I started to believe it was coming back, but then I was like, you know what, I had to tell myself I'm gonna be okay either way, whether it comes back or it don't come back, I'm gonna be fine. And I mean, it's gonna be some work, but we gonna work through it. So I had to tell people to stop telling me that it was coming back, and that if you wanted to come back, you could do that over there, but let me learn to adjust to my lifestyle now, the way I need to adjust to it. And also, like, another big part of it was having a positive attitude, like trying to turn everything positively while being in the hospital. Like, my doctors, because I had a whole team of surgeons and stuff on me, and they thought I was hilarious because I joked and I played with them and I made them laugh, and I was laughing too. And I do believe that the positivity did help move it faster. Another aspect was, like, before I had started all of this, I was the lead role in my school's play, and musical, and it was called Aida. And Aida is a Nubian princess who has to save her people from slavery. So she has to make a decision on whether she wants to be selfish and choose love, or whether she wants to help her people at the end. And she has to be a very, very strong character because she gets enslaved herself. And I was like, my teacher chose me for this role for a reason. And it must mean that I'm strong too. So I literally was like, while I was in there, I was just going through I was telling my mom, hey, can you read me the lines of the play? Let me sing my songs. Let me learn my songs and stuff so that I can do this, because I can get through this just like she's getting through it, because I got picked for this for a reason.
Right.
And I wasn't going to let nobody take that role from me, because it was my
That's
first
right.
lead role. I said, I deserve this one.
That's right.
So I got up and I did do it. I showed up 3 weeks before the premiere of the show, and I did that show all the nights in a row. Did
That's
all of them.
right.
13 songs, 22 scenes.
Ah, I know that's right. So was it? I know you said you could see more then, right? So how was it being able to get back into school and with your friends and everybody who you used to mingle with before?
So, when I was in the hospital, I only told a select few people, because definitely didn't want the pity party of everybody posting you on social media and being your fake friend and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I only told the people that needed to know, and they were in my hospital room. Like, you can see pictures of some of them, but on my social medias and stuff. But when it came back to going back to school, now I'm not gonna lie, going back to school was tough. It was pretty scary, because I was out of school October till the end of September, October, November, December, because I only went back for the play, but I wasn't actually in school. I was just only at the play rehearsals and to perform in the play. Um, Now, when I got back to school, at first it was tough, because the school and I and my mom were going back and forth, because the school was telling me that I could no longer be in my classes and that my disability was not life altering. They were telling me I didn't need a, what is it called? What's that thing called? IEP? IEP. They were telling me I didn't need an IEP and that I needed a 504 plan, which an IEP is like what the kids that need special education
Right.
use. And a
Mm-hmm.
504 is just for people who need some adjustments to the things. Like, if you broke your leg, you usually get like a 504.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Um, but they were telling me that it wasn't life altering, and they were telling me that I needed to drop some of my classes, but I said I haven't even tried yet. Y'all
Right.
didn't even give me a chance to try to see if I could do it, or to make it possible for me to do it. I told them I'm not dropping those classes until I try.
Yeah.
Um, so we made it adaptable. We did the best we could, because I didn't know what I needed and they didn't know what I needed, because this was new to me
Mm-hmm.
and it was new to them too. Because usually it doesn't happen where a student in the middle of high school just boom, it's one way and then it's done. Well, it's not done, but it's a whole new way now. They came back and it's a different, completely different.
Right.
So I was assigned 3 teachers, and schoolwork was, everything was still tough though, because the students, being in high school, being teenagers, they're not very considerate of other people that aren't like them
Yep.
being around. So when I first got my cane, I had gotten really excited to get my cane, because to me it was a moment for me. But with the cane came a bunch of disrespect. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
My cane got kicked. It got pushed. I mean, I got pushed in the hallway. People stopped talking to me. A lot of people that were friends with me stopped talking to me. The only people that were, well, most of the people that were there were the people that was in my hospital room. Those were the ones that continuously talked to me and defended me in the hallways. Because people did try to, well, people called me the blind girl. That was my nickname. Or
Wow.
the windshield wiper. That was another one. And at one point, some boys tried to play a prank on me in the hallway, but my sister was there, so that didn't happen. Um, but it was a whole lot of stuff. My teacher told me if I had a penny for every time somebody stared at me or told me that I'm not really blind because I don't look blind,
Mm.
was, she was like, "You be rich right now," and I was like, "It's okay, it's fine, it's fine." Because one day they saying this now, they not gonna say this in the future. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah. That's awesome. Like you are just you are awesome. Um, so you talked about it gradually getting worse. So is it always the same as far as when you wake up every day, or is some days better than other when it comes to your sight, like being able to see things, shadows or whatever? Is it different? Like, do you feel like it gets better some days and it will get worse some days?
Yes and no. It's kind of a difficult question. I can try to answer it the best I can. So like it's pretty much stable like the whole time. Like it doesn't really necessarily go too far up and too far down from what it is, but certain weather things definitely affect me. Like rainy, groggy days, I really can't see anything, to be honest. It might just be like shadows and stuff like that, but I really can't see much at all. If it's too sunny outside, it makes my vision even lower because my pupils in my eyes no longer shrink. So I take in too much light. So when something like super, super bright, it'll give me a headache to where I just want to close my eyes the whole time. I don't want to have them open. So it's only like you get those couple days where it might be like it's a good balance. I mean, I'll be able to see as much as I can, but yeah, the worst days are like rainy days, groggy days, really extremely sunny days, like when the sun real bright for y'all. Yeah, I'm dying. like I have but I do have my glasses that I have that look, I call them my Will I Am shades. And I wear big glasses. So most of the time if you see me out in public and it look weird and I'm wearing ginormous glasses, it probably having a day where it's too bright for me. Yeah.
So you can see different light, like you can see light or shadow, or how is it?
So I have two different eyes. Well, not eyes. Of course, I have two different eyes, but I have two different vision levels in my eyes. So in my right eye, it is what they call tunnel vision, and it's like a tiny. It's about this big hole that is off to the right somewhere. That's why I don't know if it has done it yet, but sometimes my eye will tend to drift a bit on this side. So it's, but when you try to look out of that hole, it also closes. So then it pretty much goes all black. So this eye is pretty much gone. In my left eye, it is extremely blurry. So I think one of the ways I explained it was there, you remember in school when they put those drunk goggles on you? It's kind of sort of like that. Or if you're driving in like it's super heavy rain and you can't really see too much because it's extremely blurry. It's kind of like that in my left eye. So I can't read. I can't use a laptop. Anything that I'm looking at, like if I wanted to see you or try to see what my phone screen looks like, I have to be like at least like oopsies, like this close to try to see something. But other than that, it's just like it's not much I can actually see. I can see colors at high contrast. Colors too close together, I can't tell the difference, such as like purple and blue. If you put purple and blue next to each other, I might be able to guess, but I really can't tell too much of which one is which. Yeah, that's pretty much how I can explain it. It has to be very, very large. My schoolwork, that's one way I can explain it. My schoolwork was in 100, size 100, in bold font in Arial black on 17 by 11 paper.
Oh shoot.
That's how we had to do my tests and things. So when my teachers gave 100 question tests, it was really like 200 pages for me.
Like, yeah. But you got it done though. But you got it done. So
definitely.
The determination is evident. And the smile on your face is evident as well. So you mentioned the music school and singing and all the great things. So is that a part of what keeps you going? Like being able to still have that great gift?
Yeah, definitely. I would say it definitely did because, like I said, when I was in the hospital, I was in there singing my 13 songs, trying to learn them. I have a huge fear of needles. I am terribly terrified of needles, and I had 3 IVs in me. So, for me, one of the songs in the show is called "Dance of the Robe," and that's like That was one of the songs that I was singing. That's one of the songs that really pushed me through, because in that song she says it's like her people are begging her to help them. And she's never been put, like, she's just a princess, so she's never had to actually take control and be in the lead right now. Like, now she's being forced to, but she's never actually had to do that because her father's the king, he's still alive, so she never had that struggle. So now that she has to, by the end of the song, she accepts her role as their leader, and she takes it, and she says it's enough. And then that is like the most powerful part of the show in the song. And that was when I was like, yeah, I got my power.
That's it. You had to hold on to it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So when did you actually find out that you had a talent to sing?
If my parents were to tell it, probably when I was younger, like very, very small. I consider that screaming and not singing as a child. But to them it was saying, I would say, I'm not quite sure what year it was, but the first time I knew that I wanted to sing was when I saw Anita Baker on the Apollo.
Oh, wow.
It was in my living room, because I had a cassette player that I used to walk around with, and I would literally just play Same Old Love on repeat in my little Sony cassette player.
Oh my goodness. I can't believe you said Anita Baker though. That was like, and on the Apollo stage. That's like, that just took me back. Because I can remember watching Apollo like on the Sunday or Saturday night, every Saturday of the week, waiting for Apollo and Steve Harvey to come on, and them. Well, I don't know who was hosting it then when she was on there, but
I don't remember. that was when I knew. I was like, that's what I want to do.
That's it. So I mean, I don't know if this is even a question for you, but I would guess R&B is your favorite genre of music.
It is.
It is. I know the way that just, the voice just comes out like that, just like it was meant to be you. It's all you. So with that, how did it come a thought that you should join American Idol or try to get on American Idol?
Wow. Okay. So I used to watch it a lot when I was younger, especially for the auditions, not gonna lie, because the auditions used to be hilarious. But I watched the show a lot, and I got to see, Jennifer, Fantasia, all the people that won years ago. And I went, what is it? We were in Antigua. So part of my family is from Antigua, and my great grandfather on that side had heard me sing for the first time, and the song I sang was Joyful Joyful from Sister Act 2. And he said one day and actually the funny part about it is he is also legally blind.
Wow.
I didn't make that correlation until later in life, but he had said, I'm gonna see you on American Idol one day. And I took it as a joke. I thought he was playing. I was laughing, like, I didn't think anything of it. Then he passed away while I was in high school. He passed away a few months before I actually lost my sight. And and I had sang at his funeral, and then I heard that Idol was coming. So my senior year, I had heard that Idol was coming to my city. So I was like, oh, okay, well, maybe I should try. Like, me and my friends was having a conversation, and all of us were supposed to go try. We were like, all of us should try. Let's go. We're going to do it. We're going to try. Yeah. And I was the only one that actually ended up going. I was the only one that ended up going, even though I tried to chicken out right before. My mom didn't let me, though.
You was nervous?
I was nervous, very much so nervous. I get extremely nervous before any time I have to sing. Anytime.
I can only imagine. So what was it like, actually, like, to be around all those people, like other talented people, just waiting to go in there and sing your heart out?
I'm gonna be honest, extremely nerve-wracking. Also because in my official audition, I was the very last person to audition.
What?
So we had to be there at like 7 a.m. And like, I literally had to watch everybody go sing for the, not like we didn't actually see them sing for the judges, but like I had to watch them go upstairs and come back down with a no or a golden ticket or what they call a silver ticket now. And I'm like, everybody getting tickets. Am I gonna have one? Because I know they only give a certain number out. Am I gonna have one? Because I had found out earlier that day that I was last, because one of the producers decided to be really nice and be like, okay, so he walked up to me and says, hey, Shay, so you know how they say you save the best for last? And I was like, I know you're not about to tell me what I think you're about to tell me. And he said, yeah, sorry, but you're last today. Last? Okay. What does that mean? He was like, you know, you're just going to be the last singer and it's fine. Which meant I didn't sing till about 9:00 at night. And you can't leave the building. So yeah, I couldn't leave. So my uncles had to go bring me food, but I was terrified to eat because certain things, you know, have an effect on your voice. Right. So I'm like, I don't know what time. I didn't know what time last was going to be. So I'm like, I don't want to eat. Then I was like, and then I'm taking a nap. Like you can see me taking a nap across the chairs, trying not to be so nervous. Because once I get nervous, I got to go to the bathroom and then my legs start shaking. I get to burping. It gets really bad.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm like, I'm trying not to be nervous. And then eventually when I went upstairs and it was my turn, I'm still standing in line to get to the room where the judges are at. Now, the most nerve-wracking part is sitting in front of the judges. They're like, okay, so we need you to go on like the T mark on the floor. And I'm like, okay. So I walk in there. Well, my mom has to place me on the T because obviously I can't see it. So I'm standing there and I'm like, okay. Now the judges are out of my line of sight. So at this point, I don't even realize that they're sitting in front of me. So I'm nervous just sitting in this room. I can tell there's cameras pointed at me. And I'm like, oh God, I hope I don't suck. Like that's just what's going through my brain. And then the judges start talking to me and I'm like,
me?
Hi. I'm like, hi. And then I see Katie because her hair was contrasting the wall. So then I finally saw her and I was like, oh, okay, they're over there. And then I was like, hi. And then, you know, the rest is history.
Oh my goodness. So after that initial whole audition, right? Like how did you process it in your mind? Like this is going on. Like I'm going to the next round.
So at first, I'm not gonna lie. When they first said that I got a golden ticket, I didn't believe them. I was like, are they joking? I'm really not joking right now. Like, it's not funny. And then Luke was like, we're gonna bring it to you. So then when they actually came down and they put it in my hand, I was like, holy crap. I actually just, oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, because I was like, I could have done better, but I was like, oh my gosh, they actually gave me a golden ticket. And then it started ugly crying. Yeah. And that's when the ugly cry started happening.
That's when you know it's real.
And then the judges are hugging me, like Lionel's hugging me, Katie's hugging me, and Luke is hugging me, and Katie's telling me, you know, you have a gift and you need to share it, you know. And I'm just, mom's ugly crying too at this point because she's in the room too. And I'm just taken back. I come out of the room and then my grandma, y'all see her almost pass out on the ground when she saw it. So I'm like, oh my gosh, it's really just happened. Like I'm actually getting a golden ticket and stuff. And then afterwards, I was just like I guess you could say I was in a state of shock. Like it's kind of like, like you're excited, but then at the same time, you're like, did this really just happen to me? Like this literally just happened. Like I literally just hugged Katy Perry and Lionel Richie and Luke Bryant. And then I got a golden ticket. I'm actually going to Hollywood right now.
Yes.
What? I'm like, hold on. Oh my goodness. This is so fun. Man. But at the same time, I'm tired because I've been here all day. So it's like, for me, when I'm tired and I'm excited at the same time, it'll come off like, yeah. This is so exciting.
Right.
Because I'm still there. So the judges leave after I perform, but I still have to be there because you have to do a confessional afterwards. So I didn't actually leave till 11 that night. Because I have a confessional, and you have to get a psyche valve.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Throw that in there.
Yeah.
Um,
So yeah.
it was awesome to watch them be so like that. The song you sung was that's my favorite song. So when you sung it, I was just like, oh my gosh, I can see how they got so emotional. Like on top of the way you sung it, what you went through, it was just crazy. I felt it, and it was so awesome.
Thank you. It was mom's choice.
It was a wonderful choice. It was wonderful. It just showcased the whole, like, being able to sing it up and down. I don't know what it's called, but being able to like move your voice, it just showcased it so well. Um, but ultimately, I know there's an ultimate goal with American Idol, right? And everybody wants to reach that goal. So, do you still feel like a sense of accomplishment, being that you made it to whatever the stage that you made it to, but you didn't actually make it to the actual goal? I would say, but only one person can do that anyway. But how do you feel like as far as from then to now, as far as what you've accomplished?
I would say that I feel like the goal that I went on the show for, because my original goal of going on the show was to let other people that might be in my situation know that they're kind of like not alone. Because in my school, I was the only one. So I felt alone and like nobody could understand. So I went on there because I wanted to show them you guys aren't alone and y'all can still do it no matter how many times people are going to tell you can't do it or whatever. Like you can still do it. We just got to do it, smidge differently, like a little bit differently than everybody else, but we still got it. We still got it.
Definitely still got
That was my original, like, that was what I wanted to do. And I feel like I accomplished that goal because after I got off the show, or once I got eliminated, it was so many people that inboxed me and was telling me their stories and telling me about how I inspired them, or not even like people in my situation, even people in completely other situations were telling me, I no longer want to complain about my situation because, what you went through, or you inspire me to do better and you inspire me to get up and not be, depressed anymore about what's going on, or to think about it like you inspire me to keep chasing my dreams no matter what. And I'm like, that was the goal. So
yeah.
I feel really accomplished in that aspect getting done. And then I feel really accomplished because I mean, how many people can say that they sang the song, they sang a song with the original writer and singer of the song?
Yeah.
Not many people can say that,
No.
and I can. So it's like, oh, that's really cool. That's really really dope. And I was still in high school while I did it. So
You know what I'm saying? And Lionel Richie hugged you.
yes,
Like, come on
yes.
now. I
Yeah.
mean, really, like, oh, my arms would just be so golden at this point. Okay, you wouldn't be able to tell me anything. Um, but as far as your music is concerned, um, what's the next step being from there to now? Like, what are you doing as far as recording your music?
So what I'm doing is I'm working on like artist development and making my music, honestly. Um I'm actually relearning how to play the piano right now by ear because I was a visual learner before. So I learned how to play it by looking at the keys. Now I have to learn how to play it with my ears instead. So I'm learning that while also like re re-teaching myself how to do other things that I did, because like I said, every aspect of my life was pretty much visual. So now that I'm switching it over, I'm doing it so like songwriting and stuff. So I'm actually working on trying to get an EP out soon. There's only one song that's pretty much done, and it's called D&D, and I'm really excited about it. I actually really like it. Um and I'm excited to see what else we can come up with when it comes to it. Right now, I have two singles out, Addicted and Crazy. And I'm a feature on another one called Rockabout, and that's with a Liberian artist named Eldrez. And Other than that, I got some other things coming in the works, and I'm excited for y'all to hear what is coming out and to get it done. Cause yeah.
Yeah. Where can they find your music? You said the ones that are out. Where can they find them at?
So they're available on all platforms: YouTube, Spotify, Tidal. What's the other ones? Apple Music, Amazon, all of those. They're available on all platforms.
You are awesome. I just want. I mean, I know you know that, but like to just your whole process is dope. And man, I'm just thinking about how selfish I am sometimes to be complaining over the pettiest things, and wake up with attitude or something, and it's like it's reality that people are going through things and are still able to be positive like you, and it's such a big deal, and it's so awesome. Um, to have you on here to say what you said. It's everything that you said. Your purpose was on for American Idol. It's like a ripple effect. I think that people are listening a lot, and I think people need to hear people like you just talk. And I think when you talk, they're gonna listen. And so one more question. My question is, well, you talked about this a few minutes ago about people that might be depressed or just unhappy with life. I want you to tell them one more time what you think as far as just being motivated and being able to get up, excuse me, and face whatever's ahead of you head on with no regret.
Okay, so I would say this. Of course, I had my moment. I think my most down moment in my situation was when I first came home, and it was I had come home and everything looked different. So it was very dramatic for me. And my mom was washing my staples one night, and I had this song playing, and it was called "Why Me." Probably not the best idea at the
Just by
time.
the name, it just
Yeah, it probably wasn't the best idea, but in the end, I actually think it actually kind of did help. Um, it was off this CD I had done years ago for cancer. And that was actually my song. I sang the song called "Why Me" because my mom had cancer, so I did it for her.
mm,
But I wanted to hear the song because the song is just called "Why Me," so it didn't specifically say cancer in it.
right.
So I listened to the song and then I started crying and I was like, Mom, why did this happen to me? But how I had to think about it, right? Everything happens for a reason.
Mm,
Everything has a purpose.
mm,
I feel like my sight was taken for a reason, and I feel like we get put through situations that we are able to handle, but we just have to do it a little bit differently sometimes.
yeah.
Like people are always going to tell you, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this, you can't do that, but you can do it. You
Mhm.
just have to believe in yourself and know that you are completely capable of doing it, no matter how you have to do it. Just because you don't do it like they do it, don't mean you ain't doing it right.
Exactly.
Still getting the same end result, maybe even better. You never know.
Never know.
So, I just say you gotta keep your head up. Okay, sorry.
Oh, I was ready to start. I got some little beats over here I could press. It's like ding ding, little. We could have recorded the song real quick. Oh no, but tell the people who don't know you on my on what this platform I'm trying to create. People who don't know you, tell them tell me, tell them where they can reach you at. People that want to contact you or maybe just follow you as inspiration. Tell them how can they contact you.
So you could contact me on Instagram at Shayy Winn, which is SHA with two Y's, WINN, two N's. So that's my Instagram, and my Facebook is Shayy the Singer. So SHAYY the Singer.
Oh, dag, that's what I gotta see. I gotta tag that one in the post because I tagged you, but I tagged your other page. Just say shake.
Oh,
So I'm gonna remove so you can have this on your page and maybe be able to share it or if you want to.
oh, my mom said she already did for you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you a lot. But So, is there anything else you want to say that maybe I didn't say or didn't cover? But I know everything. You kind of like I said, you kind of cover everything. Just the things that I had written down by just talking, just having a general conversation. But is there anything that you want to say?
I just want to say, I want to say thank you to Ivy for actually, hooking this up. I really appreciate her for sending this my way.
Yes.
And I just want, to say, you guys be on the lookout for the new music coming out.
I'm definitely gonna be on the lookout. And yes, thank you, Abby, so much for connecting us. This was awesome. I needed to hear it, and I'm going to when we get off here, I'm probably gonna replay. I'm probably gonna look at it like 16 times and just go over it because it was so dope and your personality is so awesome. And I think that the purpose of what I try to do is gonna it's gonna meet its purpose. And I thank you for helping me accomplish that a lot. And congratulations on everything you're doing. You're super duper dope. And I can't wait to see what's next in your future and everything. Thanks to your mom for allowing this and helping.
I think so.
Okay. See, 2 seconds. Oh, but yes, like I was saying, sorry you guys. I know I always have technical difficulties, but yes, thank you so much again for everything and for coming and taking time out to bless my podcast. I call it a podcast, which is not really a podcast, but I'm doing these interviews as if it's a podcast, so that's what I'm rocking with. So yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, thank you.
Thank you for having me. I really
Of
appreciate it.
course, of course, of course, of course. So be great at everything you're doing. Stay motivated, and we all gonna be following you. So
Oh,
10 years from now, you'll have old Getitlex, comment under your status, and stuff, liking your pictures and sharing it. So yes, definitely. So that's a wrap.
thank
Appreciate you.
you.